Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It Fab. Today, I feel so special. I feel so honored that I have my buddy here, Patrick, who came all this way to see me, to record with me.
That's right.
Oh my God! And you came from work. Tell us about what you do. I see you all dressed up in your scrubs.
Yeah. I'm always in scrubs. Well, my name is Patrick Journey Bonhomme. I'm a professor in the hospital.
Okay.
Right.
So what do you teach?
I teach in perioperative services.
Okay.
And something called sterile processing. So anything relative to preparing for a procedure, making sure it's called asepsis technique, making sure that all your instrumentation are sterile and can go into critical places in the body.
Okay.
I teach that in the hospital, and I'm also a wellness practitioner. So I specialize in stretch therapy and in compression therapy.
You hear that, guys? You hear that?
Yeah.
Book him, okay?
Yeah. Our community, for whatever reason, views body maintenance as a luxury more than a necessity.
Let me tell you.
And I'm making sure that I am raising awareness on the importance of it.
I'm glad that you are, because you know how it is, especially with us moms, right? After one kid, maybe, we could snap right back.
Right.
But 2, 3, 4 kids,
right,
it gets hard. You really have to intentionally work out and maintain your body. You understand? So I'm totally with that. I'm glad you're raising that awareness.
Yeah.
But that's not what you came here to talk about.
Oh man, nah, we came to talk about independence versus submission.
You're going to have to tell me what that. You're going to have to explain, because I've done this conversation before.
Trigger warning.
It is. Not for me, fortunately.
No.
Not for me. No. But there's a lot of women that I know do not mention the S word to them. You're about to deal. I'm not submitting to anyone. So explain that to me.
I don't know how all of them think, but everybody has a valid point, right?
Okay.
When I look at it from the standpoint of a man, I'm the provider, I'm the protector, I'm the head of the household, I'm the priest of the house, right? The spiritual covering, the protector. If something goes down right now, somebody's knocking on the door and it sounds like it's the purge going on outside, I'm the first one. By default, I have to go out there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Right? I'm not gonna be like, Sherry, babe, I'm gonna be up here with the kids. Let me know how I go. I got your back. I love you.
Here.
I love you.
No. But that's really happening though. That's the scary part. That's really somewhere in the world.
Right.
That's really happening, but.
Yeah. I mean, certain cultures, the woman is becoming more of the dominant entity. I know in our country, right? There's certain places. I can't think of the name right now. It's gonna come to me. It's a place where they specialize in fish. I forgot what's the name.
Oka?
Nah. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me.
Okay.
It's gonna come to me.
Jacmel.
And what happened was, apparently the men had to go out for war and they were drafted.
Okay.
And the women were left having to just run the household. So when the men came back, the women were just running things and they became docile, and I know a lot of places that has occurred where the woman had to adapt to whatever the circumstances were. So if there was a draft in the war, they had to adapt to being the mother and the father. In America, the popular thing is abandonment, or separation, or division, or divorce, right? The man leaves and the man doesn't make himself be present for whatever reason. And the woman has to just step in and just do what she needs to do.
I mean, it just is what it is. You understand? As a woman, right? Even for me, right? I'm divorced, and and I have to step into my masculine. If I don't, the bills don't get paid.
Right.
But la garçon la, I'm not doing nothing. The doorbell ring, go get it. I'm good. But but why do some women don't? They still hold on to it, even though when a habit shows up.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah. Sometimes it's just survival. And
survival mode. Yeah.
And I got to loop back into a lot of my sessions. I have maybe a 65-35 ratio of men and women as far as clientele.
Okay.
I have a lot of women, but I also have a lot of men, but mostly women. And what I run into is sometimes independent women, single moms, or women who are just doing a lot, right?
Too much.
The stress levels are so high. And part of my therapy is the healing comes from a release. You're gonna find out today. The healing comes from a release. You have to release.
So you can't hold on to it.
No.
So you remember that you're gonna have to give us some techniques because I think we need that.
Well, that's what makes what I'm doing special, because I am guiding you to releasing. I'm having you go into a mental space where there's a burden in your mind. And while we're doing the stretch, you're taking a deep breath in and you're releasing, and it works. And it works wonders on the mind, on the body, and on the spirit, but it's hard for someone who picked up a habit of being independent, and here somebody comes like, you no longer could be independent. You got to depend on me. I know you were doing this, but we're going to do it like this now. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
But what I've learned, because me, for whatever reason, actually, it's not for whatever reason. I was raised by an independent, strong, powerful woman, so it wasn't easy for her when she got married again, when my mother got married again, to submit to that role. It wasn't easy. So
to her new husband, right?
I have always been attracted to powerful women, and I attract powerful women.
Really?
Yeah. I attract powerful women. Powerful woman walks in here right now, she'll be intrigued by me for whatever reason. Okay. And I have an ability to interact with them. But I'm also a man, so there will be clashes, and I've had it in my previous relationships. Shouts out to my exes. Sorry for your loss.
Don't come spin the block.
Sorry for your loss. No, but I made my mistakes too.
Yeah. But, of course.
But there was a lot of clash, and there was a lot of nobody wanted to relinquish. But I realized through time, right, where I'm at now, that a powerful woman who maybe had to learn how to adapt to survival and just how she was just raised, she needs to be led. And she needs to be
not controlled, right?
She needs to be
Thank you.
You can't control is an insecurity.
It is. It is.
Unless you're in a corporate structure, control and wanting to know where the person is at, wanting to know who you with, what time you coming home, wanting to know. I mean, there's responsibilities, and if we're running a household, it's important that I do know when you're coming home. Of course. But control in the sense of, why you over there? Who all over there? Who's that breathing? I heard somebody breathing. Who's that? I'm on FaceTime. I want to see who's there. Put the phone over there. That's insecurities. We need to learn with that. We need to learn how to deal with our insecurities better.
That is true.
I'm speaking from a standpoint of experience. I'm speaking from the standpoint of the work that I've done on myself, and I'm still doing on myself. Yeah. You have to work. You have to acknowledge you might have some weaknesses. You might, I could be tall, strong, and tall, dark, and handsome, but I might have some things that wasn't nurtured as a child. Yeah. That my mom maybe didn't nurture. She couldn't. Maybe she couldn't. Maybe she didn't know how to, and I forgive her for that. Yeah. I'm not a victim. I just realized my mom, my family, my family did what they could. Now I got to pick up the pieces where they weren't built.
It's significant what you just said, because I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and I told them, I said, we can teach women how to be men, how to be women, but until we learn to deal with our childhood traumas, our childhood in general, we're not going to be able to ever show up as ourselves for someone else. No. So it's just so important that you said that you don't blame your mom. You just realize what happened, and you're processing it, you're healing from it, and you're dealing with it, you're moving forward. Right. Which is, but you see that look you just gave me, like that's how it should be. Right. A lot of people don't know that.
You're right.
A lot of people are walking out here bleeding on one another. You know what I mean? No, they're out here bleeding on one another.
They really are. They're really just. Yeah. They're really, and they love each other. They
trauma bonded. You know what I mean? So it's like.
But what about the victim that falls in love with the victimizer? Women or men who have been sexually abused, and they realize they've been sexually abused, and now they have this attraction to the person that abused them.
Like all of these things are real at the end of the day. Right. And I feel like until we talk about that, and again, I'm so I'm so grateful that you I didn't even have to ask you. You brought that up. Yeah. That means you're dealing with it. You're doing the work. You understand? Yeah. Because another thing is that a lot of guys, man, like they won't talk about things, they won't speak about things. So again, going back to submission, I can't, me personally, I believe in submission. I consider myself a traditional woman, especially we're both being Haitian. We know how we were raised. I know what's expected of you. You know what's expected of me. But if you can't lead me, I'm not going with you. I'm not going with you.
But that's a tricky topic. So I'm going to address the whole men not expressing stuff. Women have to take more responsibility for not making it a safe place for a man to express themselves.
Go into that.
Because
how do I make it safe for you to talk to me?
By not using what I opened up to you about at a very vulnerable time to now hurt me with it.
So weaponizing it.
Yeah, women will take note of what you just, in the moment you open up. I went bankruptcy. I went bankrupt. I ain't got no money. I'm this, but I'm going to bounce back. That's all right, baby. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I bounce back, right? I get back on my feet. And then, that's why you was bankrupt a year ago.
Oh, my God.
Damn, you going to bring that up? Yeah, when I was younger, my mom, my mother said I ain't going to be shit. Oh, I ain't going to be, I'm sorry, fucker.
You're good.
I'm just making stuff up. This is not my real life.
Yeah.
But my mother did this to me. She hit me upside my head with a pot, and I got a scar right here. And now I got a patch in my hair. I can't grow hair. That's why you got a patch in your hair, because your mother hit you with a skillet.
Yeah.
It's like, dang.
Women, we gotta do better. We gotta make it safe. I've heard that before.
I gotta do better.
We gotta make it safe for our men so they could talk to us.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Oh, for real. Like I'm gonna talk about the fellas too, but this is personal.
I've heard it.
You can't not.
I've heard it.
He doesn't like to talk, and he doesn't want to open up because we don't trust you. We do not trust you. Women are double-edged swords, and they're a safe place when things are okay, but when things are not going the way they need to go for whatever reason. I don't know if it's trauma. I don't know if it's just I don't know what it is, but they'll use, they want to hurt you. And men are like that too. Men are becoming more like that. They want to hurt. We want to hurt each other, and we got to get out of that. But the fellas complain about women having these emotional outbursts. But believe it or not, no matter how we were raised, emotionally intelligent or emotionally unintelligent, we are the emotional leaders.
Yeah.
We are, because if you come and you're emotionally sporadic right now, you're just frantic, right? I'm supposed to be the composed one to make
regulate,
to regulate the whole thing. And you said it, women are emotional regulators. They are, because they should be. Women are majestic. Women should be able to flow and whatever feeling. But we should also be able to redirect them sometimes, just like water.
For sure.
Just like water, right? Mm-hmm. For water, a body of water comes right now. You got to be able to set some boundaries up to redirect it, but allow the water to be water. Allow a woman to be woman, and being able to be an emotional leader as a man requires a lot of self-work.
It does. And oh my God, there's so much to unpack here. What alarms me is that I just don't understand what's going on in the dating scene right now. I feel like we're just taking advice from everything and everyone.
From Instagram gurus.
Yeah, and I'm just like, when I speak to people now, I'm like, look, do what works for you two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you two believe it should look like? Forget about what everyone else is saying, right?
How do you think it should look?
I mean, for me right now, right? If I meet someone, I consider myself, I embody what traditional is and what it should be. I didn't before. I did not. Because my father passed away when I was young. My mother was masculine. She had to be. And I felt like I had to be masculine. And, as the oldest child, it's just me and my brother, but I felt I had to be masculine. I had to help my mother. Mm-hmm. And I've always had that. It wasn't until like after 2020, I'm like, I can't go on like this. Like, I'm tired. I'm physically tired.
Right.
And then once.
But what did you do? Well, how was that? How was that healing journey? How did you get to a place where you went from, okay, I'm overly masculine to, you know what, I got to be submissive. How do you decide to do that?
Well, you can read all about it in my book.
Nice.
Book nice. Busy and Broke, now on Amazon. But to be honest with you, I had to deal with my childhood trauma. I had to go back and figure out why I was making the choices that I was making.
Right.
Why was I constantly getting in the situations that I was getting in? And one thing that kept coming back was, two things that kept coming back was I was having relationships with people, men, women, bosses, whoever. I was having a certain type of relationship with people from the place of my self-value. I didn't value myself. So if I didn't value myself, you meeting me, you see that, you're not going to value me either. Why is this relationship not working out? Why is this friendship falling apart? Why my bosses don't respect me? Things like that. But that all came, it all went back to losing my dad. There were daddy issues,
So there was a level
of abandonment.
So there was a level of validation that you didn't have. So you didn't know what was acceptable treatment and what wasn't.
Come on, we're Haitian. We don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, we're supposed to just take,
and we have to kind of learn while we're out here, making a whole lot of mistakes. But I think
the Haitian community.
Listen, we're gonna have to have a segment on that.
The Haitian community. Oh my God, man! It is. I just remember. An older Haitian would fart. You have to say excuse me. Or bad bravo.
I remember that.
Bad bravo. I'm scared as hell. Like,
ew.
It's you can't whistle in front of Haitians. In front of older Haitians. I remember being told. I like me some gratin.
That's the only one.
It's the bottom of the.
Americans don't know about that though.
For the Americans watching the show, gratin is the bottom. When you get that rice, the rice is good, right? But in the bottom of the pot, it's like that caked on. You scrape that off, and if it's some sauce pie, you put some sauce pie on there, let it sog it up a little bit. Amazing, right? So I remember just scraping the pot, and then I don't remember who it was. They're like, "Oh, you can't do that. You're not gonna grow any beard." Look at me now. I forgot who it was. Look at me now, and I still
eat out the pot.
They said you will not grow beard, and you won't grow beard as a man when you grow.
Where do we get these things from?
They just I think one person made up something and then it passed on. It's like a rumor, right? And then it just gets passed on, and it's I think it's mental slavery as well.
It's so, like I said, we need a whole different show and a week to unpack that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of childhood traumas just from the Haitian community
alone.
But I mean, again, I saw submission. I saw that growing up. Mm-hmm. I did. I saw that growing up, but the environment could not allow me to thrive in that. There wasn't a father around. Living in America, you have to work. You have to help, as much as you can. But now, right, we're divorced. Mm-hmm. We have young kids. We're adults now. Mm-hmm. When you know better, you do better.
Right.
So what does that look like now for people like you and myself who are ready to start dating again and meeting people? How do you speak to someone like me and be like, you need to submit? And how do I know, meeting someone like you, that you're someone I need to submit to? Like, how are we doing this dating thing these days?
It goes back to what you said. You gotta figure out what works for you and the person.
Yeah.
And knowing, I think the number one thing is communication.
I say that all the time.
Setting the tone and being very transparent on what your intentions are, right? And if I'm telling you what my philosophies and my principles are, and these are things that I'm standing on.
Yeah,
and we proceed, then that means there's a clear unspoken agreement, right? But sometimes we get passionate, sometimes we get lonely, sometimes we get horny, sometimes we just
that part.
Yeah, we just jump into things and just impulsively bind ourselves to somebody that's not even aligned with you.
Because it's cuffing season.
It's cold outside.
Because I'm lonely.
You want somebody to shovel outside. You want somebody to clean your car out of the snow. You just want to have that. But everybody needs it. But I think coping, right? Coping is a dangerous thing because if you use the wrong outlets to cope, you actually make it worse than it was. I got friends, I got brothers who use the wrong things to cope.
Yeah.
Drugs ain't it.
Nope.
Sex ain't it.
No.
Drinking ain't it. It's literally laying in your flaws. It's just swimming in it and just try to figure out
feel it,
man. Look, you got a problem. I got a problem, and I can't blame nobody. I can't blame my spouse. I can't blame my partner. I can't blame the dating pool. I'm not saying those things don't exist. All of those factors exist, but you have to freaking separate all of that and just work on what you need to work on.
Yeah.
And accept it. Like, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm missing this. I'm lacking this. I am insecure in that area.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing for a man or a woman to say. I have insecurities. I've had insecurities. Yeah. Not because I didn't look in the mirror and think that I like that there was a good looking person or I'm not successful enough or I'm not making enough money. But there was just things I didn't know that I had because nobody necessarily poured it into me.
Yeah.
Because my mom, my family, they didn't know how to pour into that. The previous generation was set up to stabilize us in America. Now it's our turn to elevate.
It's so crazy you say that because I said that. They did what they could. And I think the greatest gift was bringing us here.
You see what's going on in Haiti?
Okay. So now that we're here, what are we doing? And how are we helping the next generation? You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, like, okay, I understand you're upset with what your mother said, your dad did, but you're here. You could have been back home. You're here.
It'd have been hard out there.
You know what I'm saying? So what do we do from this point?
What we should do from this point is stop demonizing our parents. Yeah. Stop demonizing them. Forgive them.
I agree.
Forgive them and meet them where they are. Not in the sense of you can meet your parents where they are, but also have your boundaries too.
Oh, it's the B word for me.
You have to have your boundaries. Yeah. Look. I don't like the way you are. I don't like, my mom or my father might have a bad habit that I don't like. You know what? You were raised like this. You didn't have the luxury that I did to work on yourself because you had to focus on stabilizing and doing this and surviving. It's not an excuse. It's not acceptable, but I still have to love you. I should still love you.
Yes.
And
that part.
True healing is not being affected by what your parents did to you that were wrong because they're going to keep doing it.
Listen, they still try to say something. I'm like,
yeah.
You know that I'm like 40 something. That's not going to work.
Right.
This time.
Yeah. My mom.
She be trying it.
I'll be honest. I took time away. I had to take time away.
You have to.
I had to Mom. And I spoke to my father. I spoke to both of them, put them in a group chat. Listen, I gotta take.
You put them in a group chat.
I put them in a group chat. I gotta take some time away from y'all because I keep being triggered by what you guys do, and I'm expecting you guys to fix it, but that's wrong.
They want you to fix it because they don't know how to.
They want you not. They don't want you to. They want you to accept it. I'm your mother. I'm your father. You know what I mean? Like, accept it. You know, it's that analogy of an older Haitian farting in front of you and wants you to clap and say sorry.
Oh, you say sorry or something. I haven't heard that one, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Bravo. You burp.
Oh my God. Yes, I heard that before. Like, listen, so it's safe to say that the issues that we even have with a woman submitting to her man and a husband and things like that, it all comes from childhood trauma. It also, majority of it stems from that. But what can, again, a woman in her masculine, she's been doing everything. she meets someone like you, right? How do you make her feel safe enough to let her guard down?
Understanding what she needs.
Are you asking her, or are you expecting her to just tell you?
I'm asking. I'm not asking directly. The way I am, I'm an indirect interviewer. Like I will ask one question, but it's giving me answers to like
to everything that you know,
like
that
a whole bunch of other things. Like, okay, I could tell by the way she answered that she still has a lot of fear and she has a lot of self-doubt and her wall is super, super, super high. The next thing is understanding, does she really want that? You know, and being realistic, do you really want to be submissive? Yeah. Do you, at this point in your life, do you really want to change? Yeah. Do you really want to go down that path? Because if you do, this is what's required. If you do, this is what's required. I'll be patient with you, but you need to take steps. I need to see progress. I need to say, even if you take one step, right? And you might backslide, but take another step. Don't. It's baby steps for sure. You know, you have to show some type of progress. Change doesn't always happen like overnight. Definitely, never baby does. Steps. Definitely baby steps. Definitely. So that's the answer. Definitely baby steps. What's the third thing? Is there a third thing? Yeah, I think so. I think that would be it. Is just understanding what the person needs and providing that and making it safe and showing them I'm not your trauma. I'm not. You don't have to do that, right? Okay. And understanding if she truly, truly, truly wants it, because some women want the benefits of a submissive woman or the benefits of having a Boaz man, but they're not ready for it. But they're not ready. That's another part. And I forgot who was talking about this, but they mentioned it, like, even for women, like, we want an emotionally intelligent man until one shows up. And then you don't even know if you're ready for that or not. And he telling you about yourself. Calling you out. You about yourself. I think you have to be prepared and ready for that. And had already been doing the work, like you said before. You have to be doing some type of work. You can't just be sitting there in your sorrow and your trauma and in your independence. You're making all this money. You're controlling every aspect of your life, and everyone around you. And everyone around you is supportive of it, and everyone around you is the same exact way. Yeah, but you want somebody to come in knight in shining armor and doing all of this stuff, but you're not showing. And because a man who's emotional intelligent, oh my god, done the self work, he knows his worth, he knows his value, he knows his worth. So he's gonna see the situation, he's gonna scan it, and he's gonna run the other way if he's seeing a whole bunch of red flags. Yeah. So those red flags, they will show up. Like, it doesn't matter how much you try to hide it. They'll show. They will show up. They'll show at a dinner. They'll show at a dinner. I'll give you an analogy. I'll give you an example. Oh man, I gotta hear this. Can you imagine a woman, like, okay, you're an independent woman. You're at the table. We're having dinner. We're having a good time. Drinks. And the check comes, and the woman is like, "You want me to? You want cash up? You want to zip? What are you doing?" That was me for so long. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Like the fact that you even needed to do that. I've seen enough to determine that person is standing on pride and is standing on that ego trip of independence. Like, I don't need you, nigga. I don't need you because my car right here. You want me to? You know what? And this is gonna holding the car with two fingers. This is gonna lead into the next conversation because I've done that, and then it wasn't coming from a place. It wasn't coming from a place of, oh, I'm better or anything. It's just like, I don't know what's going on out here anymore because a lot of men believe in 50-50. What is your stand on that? Before I answer that, right? You see, that's projecting. What? Wait. What do you mean? It's projecting because some men out here, right? And I'm just being honest. Okay. Some men out here. Be careful. Huh? Be careful. I'm gonna lay it on soft, but I'm gonna lay it on still. Go ahead. Some men, you said some men do this whole 50-50 thing. Yeah. So you're projecting your experiences with those men on a new man without even giving them a chance. That is true. It's projecting, and we operate off of that. And if we don't check it, it can be problematic. Well, I used to.
Let's just say I used to.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, I'm really big on giving the energy that you want to receive, right?
Mhm.
I know that I personally don't believe in 50-50.
Mhm.
So and I haven't been on many dates or anything like that, but no, I'm the check comes, it's
Yeah,
it
look at
comes.
me. Look at me. Man, go on your phone. Go on Instagram or something like that.
Something else,
You know?
But no, that's a big trending topic right now. Because for some men, their value is attached to their money. It's attached to their money. Their identity is attached to their ability to make money and provide or whatever the case may be.
It's the same thing, but it comes from you guys.
What do you mean?
The identity of a man, right? A man doesn't feel fulfilled if he's not a provider, if he's not all of these things, if he doesn't have a certain amount of cash flow, right? And in his eyes, he's a failure, right? If he doesn't have those things.
Why?
But in the eyes of a woman, it's the same thing.
I think it depends.
It depends on what.
I mean, because I know the kind of woman you're describing, right? Well, I think I do. I think you're about to explain it to me. But there are some women out there who, if he don't make a certain amount of money and drive a certain car, I'm not gonna mess with him, right? So I could understand a man now feeling like, if I don't have that car, I don't have that money, then I might feel inadequate. Mm-hmm. But there's some women like that. I think that's a lot of modern day women.
Fabi,
why?
You get asked out on a date.
Okay.
Right? This is a nice house, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't see the car outside, but you got a nice car too.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my God.
Right? I think it's a 7-seater.
Oh my God. Here we go.
So, somebody approaches you, somewhere. Get your number, I'll take you out. You guys go out to eat. You struggle with the bill, right? And then you find out he's working, he's an assistant manager at CVS, making $18.25 an hour. Are you interested in pursuing?
It depends. The old Fab, no. It depends. The old Fabiola, no. Yeah. The old Fabiola, just no.
What does it depend on? I don't get it.
So when I say it depends, because where I am in my life right now, right? Mm-hmm. Where I am at the core, I'm really a people person. Okay. Like, I really need to get to know you. Right. And because I'm a traditional woman, I am at the core a builder. I'm going to ask you, what's your next move? You're the manager at CVS.
Or he's going to become the assistant manager. Maybe he has no ambition.
No, see, now I cannot do anything without ambition. If you don't,
he's ambitious to become the manager, which is going to bring the pay rate up from $18.25 to $22.25. Ooh. And then he'll have keys to the CVS, right? So he could steal prescriptions for you and steal deodorant.
I'm done with
Got you. But he doesn't really have the desire.
So that's it. That's his ceiling.
He's good.
See,
he's content.
No, that is a problem for me for that reason. Because I consider myself a visionary. Like, I don't have a problem with where you are, but I have got to know
where you're going.
Right. And you gotta lay out the plan meticulously. Like, look, we're doing this year, and in 6 months we're gonna be there. See, it could be the same thing. There's so many 6-figure men who are they make 6 figures. They work on Wall Street, and they feel they've arrived.
True.
They've made it. Right. I have nothing else to fulfill in life, Now, for me, again, for Fabiola, I am that person. I'm constantly going to challenge you. I'm not.
So you got to have something to work with.
I always have to have something to work with. Even if, let's just say, your career-wise, that's it. You reached where you want to be. Now, who are you? Right. Like, what do you like to do? Do you like to golf? I feel like a woman always has to be given something
to nurture,
to help, to work, or something.
That's a fair response. But to answer your question on my take, to go back to the original question about 50-50, 50-50 to me is
be careful.
Is no, I'm gonna say it. I'm going to say it. 50-50 to me is circumstantial.
Okay.
It has to be. So if I'm divorced and you're divorced and we come into a situation and you got your responsibilities with your kids and I got responsibilities with my kids, and then we come into a situation and, I'm paying the house and maybe you taking care of the groceries for the, circumstances, unique circumstances, or temporary setbacks.
Okay.
Right? Like, listen, I lost my job, but I am building this business and I do got this going on and I do got this going on. It would help if you do this and do that for the next 6 months so I can get back on my feet and we'll be straight.
So again, it goes back to what I said about it depends on what works out for that person.
It's a situation.
But
not our retirement plan is to live the next 50 years going 50-50 on everything. That I'm not with that one.
And that's something that I could live with because I really don't understand what's going on out here. Like, I feel like
you bit your tongue. I
feel like what's going on in this dating scene is crazy. Like,
what's so crazy about it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. It seems not real, unnatural. Like, people are making stuff up as they go along.
They are.
But I think we need to keep it to the basics. Keep it as traditional as possible. That's my take.
As traditional.
But that's a good answer. That's really a good answer because you'll meet some people who are like, some guys who are like, no, it's 50-50. Like, she gotta pull her weight, I pull my weight, but she still gotta take care of the kids. She still has to manage the household. It's not
now. Now I'm revisiting that, right? Because in a lot of cases, yes, you go 50-50 with a woman, and the woman still has to do most of the nurturing.
Okay.
Right? But there are men who can nurture. There are men who can be better caretakers than some women.
This
right?
is true.
So if you go 50-50, if you find a man that wants to go 50-50, but he helps clean the house, he cooks, he takes care of the kids, he does all of those things, isn't that a win-win situation?
It is a win-win situation for those people in those situations.
Right.
Me personally, I like to keep it the way it was intended in the Bible. I do believe in the hierarchy: God, the husband, the wife, the child. For me, that's what I believe works.
Right.
And that's that. But I think, like, it goes back to what you said. In a relationship, communication is key. You discuss these things, and what works for you works for you. Because I can say that, but life doesn't present itself that way.
It doesn't.
And I feel like as long as at the core we are on the same page, then we'll get there.
Right.
Right.
We have to be on the same page.
So, Patrick, because these women are out here, they're looking at you.
They are.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Hey, ladies.
All tall, dark,
6'2".
and handsome.
Uh-oh.
So, are you single?
I'm not single. I'm in a relationship.
Okay. Too. I'm happy for you.
Shouts out to my Shabu Boo. I am. Yeah. Hi, Shabu Boo. Yeah.
So how was that after a divorce?
A process
with children.
5-year process. 5 years.
Wow.
We've known each other for 5 years, and it took 3 years for us to make it for me to lock it down, stop all that.
I hear that.
I met her. I found her online. I was like, "Who is this?"
Wait, online how? Like online dating?
No. Online dating is scary. Yeah, online. But I was just, how Facebook kind of like suggests you to meet somebody.
Yeah.
She looked like I had met one of my friends. Shout out to my bro Jonah. He introduced me to his boy, and he had this beautiful dark skinned woman with him, and I seen a picture online that was similar to her. So I screenshotted the picture and I sent it to my boy. Like, yo, is this your cousin's girlfriend? He's like, nah, that ain't her. I said, I bet. Slid in her DM and just started having just an intellectual conversation with her. Like,
so let me ask you, for the women who want to know, when a man sees something that he wants, he goes after it.
Yes, but I went after her. We met, we hung out, we dated on and off. She was ready, but I wasn't.
Which is fine.
Right.
But the initial.
Yeah, I went after
her.
I went after her.
Men show intentionality when they're interested.
Right.
Period.
Right. But it took me time because I had so much guilt from the divorce. You know what I mean? The divorce.
That's a whole other episode.
Don't get me started. I went through a lot.
That's a whole other episode.
Whole lot of healing. So the divorce, the guilt of the divorce, and my daughter not being under my roof and feeling like, just feeling terrible about that. I couldn't let go.
Yeah.
Even though I knew I wanted to be divorced, even though I didn't want, you know what I'm saying? But what eventually happened, I closed all of those doors.
Yep.
I made peace with it. And when I closed all of those doors, I was then ready to go to my lady and say, yo, let's make this happen.
It's so crazy that you use that analogy because that's what I use. Before I start any new chapters, I have to close that door on that situation. Right. Oh my God. I'm so I'm excited. I'm really excited because, and it's sad at the same time because I don't come across many guys like you. We don't have this type of dialogue on a consistent basis. There's not a lot of men, masculine men out there to have these conversations with. Because I've told someone the other day, me and my girlfriends will talk about it too. The agenda appears to make women more masculine and make men more feminine.
You could see it. You could see it out there. You could see it in the agenda. But
and we're subscribing to it. We are.
But men want peace, right? And going through a custody battle, I put myself on child support, a black man.
Wow.
Because I wanted to have leverage in a situation. You are not leaving the country. You're not leaving the state. You're not going to disappear with my child and say, your father left us. You're not doing that. So I put myself through that to make sure that I was present and she knew that I was fighting tooth and nail for her. But most men, you know what advice I got when I went through a divorce and I was stressing out? I can't see my daughter. My uncle, he gave me this advice.
The Haitian uncle.
He said, Patrick, I gotta say it in Creole.
You can.
I have to say it.
I'm gonna translate it.
He said, quitte petit toilet. Let's just down la vinchacho. I said, say what? I said, Pala, say it in this ear. He said it again. I'm like, I gave him the side eye. I gave him the bombastic side eye. Then, months later, I'm still stressed about the situation, trying to fight through it. He gives me the advice again. I said, what do I look like? Letting my daughter go through her life, not feeling wanted, not feeling validated, not feeling fought for, to go give herself away to these clowns and try to find validation in all these places. And then here I come when she's 20.
18. I'm your dad.
Where were you?
Go get me some juice.
Where were you? And then now she has over a decade of trauma and all of this stuff that she now has to unpack. No, I'm standing 10 toes down. But that was my choice.
Oh my God. We have to talk about the impact of divorce. And that's a whole other episode. Because the amount of people that I see that are opting for divorce, it's such a
thing.
It's such a thing and it looks so easy. They don't see the ugly side of it. The emotional, the stressful, the trauma, the children.
It's lengthy. It's not to your favor.
Mm-hmm.
If you're uneducated, if you're not uneducated, uninformed. If you're uninformed about it, it costs. If you can avoid a divorce, I would always suggest avoid a divorce.
By all means necessary.
But I would never tell you to stay in a situation that is not healthy for you.
Yeah.
That you feel like you shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
My divorce is a very unique situation, and out of respect for her and my daughter's mother, I'm not gonna go too much on it. But it's not easy. But I did what I had to do for myself.
That's it. That's it. You can sleep at night.
And the Haitian culture. will have you, instead of getting a divorce, right? This is toxic. The mother lives in the attic, the kids live in the first floor, the father lives in the basement, and they stay together for the kids.
Meanwhile, the kids are seeing you.
Bruh.
Like I said, Patrick, let's save that for another episode, because let's save it for another episode.
Right. Right. So yeah.
Well, you made my day. You made my day, because I need more male perspective. I need more of the men to talk. And I think that, like, you did it. You did it for me. You definitely did it for me. Ladies, we gotta create these soft spaces.
Yes.
You understand? And I'm gonna do the homework. Is there any homework you want to give me and the women out there for us to do to create these soft spaces for our men's and them?
Be self-aware of what you're doing and take responsibility.
There you have it.
And then be practical about fixing it.
Yo, drop your Instagram again, man. Let us know how we can
book a session with me and
listen and relieve these stress and stuff like that.
On a Journey, ONAJOURNEE. On a Journey, and the company's called On a Journey Wellness Practices.
Mm-hmm. And you're located. You have a
yes, you have two locations.
Yes.
One location in Linden, Viv and Jules. Big shout out to Carly Flower, the herbalist.
Yes, Carly.
Shout out to Carly. And to see, I'm over here drinking my tea. It's 12 o'clock.
Yes.
I don't eat. I don't do anything until I have my herbal concoction.
Wow.
And then I do that. So shout out to Carly Flower. And my other location is in Kenworth, New Jersey at Retro Fitness.
Yes.
So book a session, get with me, do consultation.
Yes, for sure.
I am a great alternative instead of surgery, instead of medication and stuff like that. But I got a question for you. Oh. What about me? What about the men? What homework do we need to do?
And I understand this now. I didn't before. Mm-hmm. A lot of women are not safe. They're not safe. Mm. But I actually have two things. If you see a safe woman, just open up. If you sense that she's safe, if she makes you feel comfortable, open up. Even if not to everything, but just a little window.
Take some baby steps.
Just take some baby steps.
Take some baby steps to progress.
Just open up just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, and same thing for you. I think along with feeling safe, for me, is feeling protected. Mm. Like, for me, when a man walks on the side of the street,
you gotta.
It's the intentionality behind that.
A lot of people might not know.
Listen, for me, like I said, young lady, not raised without her dad. Not that he didn't choose to be there. His father was killed. I always remember walking the streets of Manhattan, Brooklyn, and I just always felt unsafe and unprotected. Because there was never a male presence that made me feel that way.
That walked on that side.
Never. So when I have met a guy that, like, for me, that did that or opened the door, I melted. I was just like, oh.
I've seen.
What do you want me to do? Want me to go and make you labui? Like, what do you want? I got you.
We're supposed to be concluded.
I'll make you legging.
We're supposed to be concluded.
No, it's not over. Part 2, y'all. Part 2 coming up.
But like, I gotta talk about it. I remember going through something, and I had my boundaries set up in my relationship.
Yeah.
Boundary was crossed, and the usual reaction from most men, including myself, would see you doing that BS. You doing this. You doing this. You doing this. Even though it's valid, but to respond like that is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Because now she's gonna put her wall up. She's not gonna feel safe. She's gonna feel attacked, and it doesn't even matter what you're saying.
Yes.
She just sees red. So I've tried this, and it's working like a charm. I took what she did. It was a violation to my boundaries. I took it in, took a deep breath, and the next time I saw her, I acknowledged what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. I acknowledged and understood where she was coming from. And although it was valid, and I take that, I'll do better.
Yeah.
However, you cross my boundaries and I ain't having it.
And it can't happen again.
And it can't happen again.
Period.
But I did it like this. I didn't do. Don't you? No, I didn't do that.
That see again.
Force and brute force don't work with women, man.
I have never been in an abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. I have witnessed physical abusive relationships growing up that they're triggering for me. Yeah. So whenever I know that whenever I hear loud noises and bangs, I get triggered. Shut down. Yeah, shut down. I get triggered like I go into like this fight or flight mode. Yeah. Definitely when a man raises his voice. In my head, I just see that it's like you're out to get me. And then I don't hear or see anything else. I just see your anger in front of me. And it's just complete shutdown. Like, yeah, you stop listening, you stop processing, you see the anger. It's a person, it's a thing, and you're just like don't engage. Like, go to survival mode.
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. What if the person is just passionate? What if he's just animated, right? And you associate the animation with violence because of your trauma. Is that fair to him?
No, it's not. It's not. And that's the thing. Like you said, you have to, period. Now, you dating someone, you meet someone out there, for real, like, if they don't even sound like they're doing the work, don't waste your time. Yeah. Don't even waste your time. If they don't have words like, I'm doing the work, or use language that shows you that don't even bother, because at some level, they're still dealing with and projecting their past trauma. Yeah. But to go back to what you said, I had to understand that that's why I'm triggered that way. Mm-hmm. So now when I do speak to some, people are, you can't stop people. They're not nice people. Not everyone is nice and caring, and not everyone has a cool, calm, collected, there's some loud people. So now it's like, you see, I've learned to see people for who they are and meet them where they're at. Mm-hmm. So if we're in the supermarket, the line is long, people are taking forever, and someone starts yelling and blah, 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 blah. Again, there's a lot of assessing the situation, seeing the person. They're frustrated, they're not happy. It might be a calming touch on the shoulder, or having eye contact, letting them know I agree with you. I see, it was taking too long. Let's give it another 5 minutes. Maybe she's looking for her card or something. Like, just try to calm down the situation. But no, I have to own my crap. You're triggered because of blah, blah, blah. Right. Deal with that. Because in the real world, not everybody's going to be nice. Yeah,
And sometimes some people are raised in households where they're just yelling.
Haitian households?
Haitian households, Latins, they just project their
last week real loud. I remember having friends. We supposed to end this like 10 minutes ago.
This is how it goes. When you're vibing with somebody, you lose track of time.
But listen, right? So growing up, whenever anyone that wasn't Haitian, Fabi. Like, you in trouble? Like, nah, she told me to go get the water.
Oh, no, she was just asking me to go get something in the kitchen. What's the problem? I just peed in my pants.
They'd be like, I thought you were in trouble. Like,
nah. Yeah, or you're watching a movie and everybody in the living room just screaming and yelling, and you like,
don't let it be a soccer match. Oh, yeah. Remember back in the day with Pele?
Yeah. Pele, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. So.
Or don't even let it be a domino game. Like, my God.
I'll break a domino table for
I'm done with you.
Doopsies. Yeah, but thanks for having me.
Nah, Patrick, thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really, really, I do appreciate you, man. I really do. And this is not the last time.
I don't think so.
We were supposed to end this like 10 minutes ago. We got a lot more to talk about. Look, we've already been on here for almost an hour. Wow. We have a lot to say. Yeah. We have a lot to say. And definitely.
It's necessary. It's purposeful. It's healing.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
It's not about, the rapper over there broke up with the singer over there.
Listen,
and the actress. No, this is life. This is our community. This is generational curse breaking. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Well, you heard it, guys. Again, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow my guy here. Get your massages in, and talk to you guys next time.
Peace.